the Saturday Night House Party with Andy and JJ on Flip Flop Live Radio.
Nights like this, I wish that raindrops would fall.
The Young Guns, they won Duo or Collaboration of the Year back in 2006. It is a Saturday Night House Party. And we've got the president of the Carolina Beach Music Awards, Mr. Peter Carpenter, on the line. Hey, Peter, good evening, sir.
Good evening, Andy. How you doing tonight?
I am doing well. I know you guys have certainly had an interesting year with having to reshuffle and do things. When did you kind of start knowing, you know what, we're going to have to do virtual, we're going to have to make some changes this year?
Basically, we kind of waited till SOS to see what they did, and of course, you know, when they canceled out, we knew that we were kind of leaning that way with the COVID mess coming back and forth. And I travel down here, I work down here a lot, so I pay attention to what goes on in South Carolina, even though I'm from North Carolina. But I just kind of keep an eye on everything. We said, well, it looks like this thing ain't happening this year, so we better go ahead and plan on doing something on the radio. So we always had this kind of a backup plan anyway, but sometimes we wish we were going to be able to get a few people, maybe 400 or 500 of our friends in, but it just didn't work out.
Yeah, well, I think, considering the circumstances, the fact that you're able to pull it off and do it has been great for the industry. And, you guys covered a lot today with the Hall of Fame and then the industry awards. And then you, of course, have the a big award show coming up tomorrow. Now, as far as the let's see, I guess this year there were a few little changes. I know, like a few different categories. What was it? The radio stations. I think that's a good idea, putting the radio stations like you did, and some other things. But as far as the categories, do you guys look to do new categories, or do you just kind of? I mean, how do you come up with categories each year? And make
basically,
the changes?
we sit down. We have a committee that sits down and we talk about new stuff and what's going on in the industry. And when we first started this thing, we actually had just a radio DJ award, and then we only had just a station award.
Right.
Of course, when AM and FM, this was of course before the internet, so we decided to break it up into AM and FM, which worked out great for many years. And until some people started doing AM, FM, and internet, and then we said, well, now this, we got to separate the what we call the terrestrial from the internet. So we went back to where we actually basically started, back to AM, FM. We combined the AM, FM categories to a terrestrial, and we combined the AM and FM DJs just to one DJ, and we just added more nominees, so you get more people to choose from.
Right,
it's something that seemed better. You got to go ahead and separate them to make sure that we didn't overlap each other.
That's right, and I mean, you guys you're constantly, kind of seeing what the field is like. I mean, you're updating different things, so it's a good thing to be able to kind of adjust to what's going on. Now, one thing also before we let you go, Hall of Fame inductees, I tell you really had a great class this year.
Yeah, we had a really good class, and I hated that we couldn't do it in person, but I will tell you, we are planning now. We don't know when this will take place because it all depends on this COVID mess. We are planning on probably having a Hall of Fame weekend in April or May of next year, and inviting all those Hall of Fame people down and have like a little weekend thing where we do a formal introduction, if we can. If not, we'll maybe do something next year at the awards and for those people too. But it was a great class this year, and we hate we couldn't do it in person, but we tried to do them justice, and I think Charlie and Mike did a great job on the show. And, we did a lot of recording. A lot of people thought that everybody was here live, but most all that stuff was recorded. We just had to put it together here today, and Mike Worley done a great job on that.
Well, I tell you, you really did. And so if folks want to listen to the award show tomorrow, tell them what time and where they can do it.
Of course, they can tune in at 3 o'clock tomorrow on 949thesurf.com. If you're not in the area, if you're in the area, of course, you can just tune in at 94.9 The Surf. And, there's a lot of listening parties going on tomorrow. Like I said, we kick off at 3 o'clock and do all the we call the people's categories, as we always call them. And then the male vocalist, female vocalist, entertainer, and stuff like that. But it's going to be a great show tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a little bit different because we actually have winning, it's all song-based tomorrow. So every category will have a song. Today it's kind of horrible when you're doing AM, FM, DJ stuff to play something behind it because, we want to play what, works with the stuff.
Sure.
If you don't know a favorite DJ song, it's kind of hard to play it. But, we're hoping we won't have to do this again next year, but tomorrow, after each award, we'll actually have the winning song played.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, Peter, again, for everything that's been going on, I think it's a true testament to not only you but your staff, the advisory board of the CBMA, to get this thing going, and that y'all were able to still do the awards is great for the industry. And I'm just I haven't missed the Cammys in 15 years, so I hope we can be meeting again next year. This time, I don't want to do this again on the road.
That's right. That's what I'm telling everybody. I'm hoping this will build up so much pressure that you've got to get out next year and be there.
That's right.
And like I said, we want to thank you and for what you do, because if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be doing the awards. And this is just basically a pat on the back and thanking you for what you do for Carolina Beach music.
Well, Peter, we appreciate it. And again, folks, you can join the Carolina Beach Music Awards show tomorrow, 3 o'clock on the Surf, and that's going to be a great show, and we're certainly looking forward to that. Peter, I know you're a busy man. Again, thanks for taking your time out, and best of luck to you for the rest of the year and into 2021.
It sounds great, man, and we look to see you next year in 2021 right here at the 27th Annual Carolina Beach Music Awards. 27
years. All right, well, I want to talk. If you got a minute. I won't keep you long. All right. So the very first award show, you're going to have to kind of refresh my memory. The very first award show was not actually in North. When did y'all move everything to North Myrtle Beach?
Actually, in 1998, the first 3 award shows. The first one was actually in Salisbury, North Carolina, at the Holiday Inn in Salisbury, and then we moved it to down to Charlotte for a couple of years, and then we decided, well, nobody wants to go to Charlotte, but everybody wants to go to the beach.
Right,
so we moved it to North Myrtle Beach in 1998. We actually took the first year we were at the Gatlin Brothers Theater, which was down in Waccamaw, and then it turned into the Crook and Chase Theater.
Yeah, okay.
And then in 2000, I actually had run in. I met Jeff Cook many, many years ago, and we got to talking. He said, man, I said, yeah, we'd like to do it to Alabama at the time, but Alabama didn't do special events at the time. And we came up, and they had just started to do special events, and said, yeah, we'd love to host it for you. So that's how we ended up at the Alabama Theater, in 2000. And, of course, been there for ever since 2000, and it's been a great run. But, we'll be back there next year on November 14th.
Absolutely. And look, now, did you, when you started back in 95, did y'all still have a weekend where bands were playing, or was that just when you moved to the beach?
Just when we moved to the beach, we actually started off the first year. We had the show lasted 13 hours. We started the show. The actual after party was over before the show was over, believe it or not. We did have the Embers play the after party the very first year, but it was actually, the Embers had quit playing at 2 and the show ended at 2:30.
My gosh.
So the people that were still in the show missed the after party, so it was kind of crazy. But yeah, the show started like at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and lasted until 2:30 in the morning. It was over 13 hours long.
Yeah.
And of course, it was mainly 99% industry, so it was like a big family reunion. That's how it got started. And of course, we didn't actually start the weekend until we moved it to the beach, and we started bringing in bands. And so, we had a band on Saturday night the first couple of years, and then we added a band on Friday night, then we added Thursday night, then we added Wednesday night. So, it just kept getting bigger and bigger. And, of course, when we moved to North Myrtle, with all the clubs right here in the area where you could just walk around, we put bands in all the different clubs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it has worked out well for you. It really has. And, again, we hope to see you in 2021. Thanks for everything you're doing this year, and we'll see you soon, Peter.
All right, thank you, sir. I appreciate what y'all do.